We're live. I think we're live. We're good. The old lady was ringing me there. I'm going to have to keep this video short and get back on the phone to her. I'm sure she's like making sure I'm still alive after Paddy's Day. Hope you're all doing well this morning. Welcome to the Daily Crack. Sorry I was incognito yesterday. I was bollocksed from Paddy's Day. Absolutely fucking bollocks. But all well worth it. I know a lot of places around the world, at home, but in Ireland you didn't get to celebrate it. I hope you got to do something at home with your mates. Swallowed a few cans of Guinness, and done it whatever way you could. It's fucking carnage over here. Went to the Drunken Poet, North Melbourne, fantastic wee spot, and then to the Quiet Man. To be honest, I'm very vague on the Quiet Man. There was a lot of Jaeger bombs and a lot of fucking Guinness put away, but sure, hey, it is what it is. Yesterday I died a wee death, and it was a burrito for myself yesterday evening that fucking brought me back to life. I know why I don't fucking. People are like, well, how come you don't gain weight when you drink so much? And first of all, I don't drink it that well. I know I do. I drink a fucking shit ton, but I don't eat. I don't know what you're like when you're on the sauce. Gary, what's the crack, man? I don't know what you're like when you're on the sauce, but I don't touch food. I go the opposite for food. Like basically, when I'm on the sauce, I won't eat at all. If I have 3 pints, if you're taking me out for dinner and you allow me to have 3 pints, I'm not eating. The session's on then. That's as simple as it is. And I don't know. What are you like? I'm very curious to know in the comments. When you're out drinking, do you eat or can you still eat? Because I'm useless. If I have a feed when I'm drinking, that's it. I'm not able to drink or eat or do anything anymore. Probably not even able to talk. Probably one way of fucking subduing me. That's for fucking sure. But anyway, yeah, today's Friday now, 2 days later, and back in the game again. Dose myself with water and multivitamins and whatnot, and just to get the body back on track. I'm still tired, but whatever. I'll chill out this weekend. I'm working on Saturday. The old Magic Man job, 2 jobs this weekend, so I should be nice and busy, keep me out of trouble. And yeah, just back in the game again. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, and we move forward. But usual crack. If you're still watching, hashtag in the comments below live. If you're watching now, and if you're watching later on, hashtag fucking later on in the comments below. But today I want to shite on about training on injuries, because this is a common one that I come up against, and people wanting to suspend or hold their membership while they're injured, or something has happened, and really truly it's not moving and stopping moving is the worst thing that you could do. Movement is essential. Movement is what will help us recover. Now, first of all, what you got to do is you got to diagnose what style of an injury it is. Now, like if you've got a complete rupture of a muscle, maybe you have to immobilize for a little while in order for that to heal. But let's just assume, and let me kind of break it down. What happens a lot of time when things are mistaken for an injury, but really it's a muscle that's gone into spasm. Okay? So this is a common one. With any injury, you must get a solid diagnosis of what the issue is by going to a therapist of some sort or shape or form, and this should be something that you're doing on a regular basis. If you're doing any sort of weight training and lifting, you should be getting a treatment every so often. You should also be adding into your training routine a deload week where you do a lower volume or no weightlifting at all during that week, and you do recovery stuff. That might be active recovery like running, cycling, swimming, maybe yoga classes. Getting your treatments during that week is essential. I would recommend always once every 4 weeks is a deload week, regardless of what your level is. You start doing that from day 1 in your training program, and it becomes a habit. Sometimes the ego kicks in and we just kind of try and train non-stop all the time at a high level. You can't do this. Your nervous system fatigues, you burn out, you need recovery. It's hugely important. So this is where it comes down to where injuries come from and how we can break it down. An injury normally happens when you are overtrained. Simple as. Your nervous system is super fatigued, it's super ran down, you're not recovering. Like I done this to myself the other week. I put up a video of my training with a back injury, because what was wrong was, and I know myself, I know my body quite well, I hadn't injured my back, but the muscles had spasmed up. So I had, according to my Whoop, pretty shit recovery over the last couple of weeks, and I could feel it myself. I had said I was going to do a deload week then, was it last week? But I come into the gym on Tuesday after quite a big weekend as well. I knew I shouldn't have trained, but there was deadlifts on the cards. And I was like, well, maybe I can just do a deadlift. I won't go as heavy as I normally would, and I'll keep super controlled. Even staying super controlled and focusing on my form, my back still tweaked. Now, it didn't happen straight away. It wasn't like a pop or anything like that. But once I cooled down, I could feel everything tighten up. This was my nervous system telling my body that my muscles are super fatigued, my body's super fatigued, and if I don't slow the fuck down, I'm going to do a bigger injury. So my back seized up, it tightened up, it went into spasm. Simon, what's that crack? And this slowed me down. This made me stop. Then I had to take a deload. Now, I've had to do extra work during my deload to help remove that spasm. I've even had to go for treatments. Now, what I should have done is took my deload week anyway, got my treatments, and then I wouldn't have had to deal with this. It's still residually there. Now, at the moment, like I'm back in my regular training week, and I should be doing heavy squats and deadlifts this week, but I'm not, because I strain, or my back went into spasm, and that spasm is still there. The recovery hasn't finished yet. So I can squat and I can deadlift now, but I have to be super cautious. Okay, so understanding that, a lot of what happens sometimes is just your body telling you to slow down. Your body saying, right, you're not fully recovered. Now, you can be not fully recovered, not only from the gym. If you have a lot of stress in your life, if you have a hectic schedule, if you're not getting good sleep, at night, you're very susceptible to an injury. Not even in the gym, but just fucking out and about. Like if your nervous system is fried and you're not recovering and you're not getting solid sleep, you're plagued with injuries. Show of hands if that's correct. There you go. Okay. Prioritize your recovery. Prioritize de-stressing your life. Prioritize how you feel. It's super important to become aware of your body, and this is something that happens in your training experience or training career. You become super aware of how your body works and when it should be pushed and when it shouldn't be pushed. Plus, if you're training at a gym like our own facility here where it's class-based and whatnot, if you're not feeling top of the pops on a particular day, you speak to your coach. This is what we do great here. This is why a coach gym or a place where you are being coached is sometimes I feel essential, because if you're not feeling top of the pops on a particular day, like for example, if I was in class and I was after straining my back from deadlifts the previous couple of days, I would tell myself, we're not going to do the hinge pattern today. We're going to do portions of it. We're going to keep you more upright, but we're still going to train the legs and train the back in other ways. We don't eliminate the movements, we just alter the movements. It's as simple as that. And there's millions of things we can do that basically aren't fucking the body up, and we're still training really, really hard. So understand your body as much as possible and work around it. You know, if it's a shoulder injury, you can train your legs. If it's a leg injury, you can train your upper body. There's a million ways to skin a cat. But limiting movement and stopping movement is not top of the pops. All right, if there's any questions on that, feel free to reach out. And if you want a kind of a bit of advice and maybe something's going on for yourself, I'm more than happy to help me. Drop me a DM, whatever the fuck. And other than that, enjoy your day. Giddy up.